The National Electrical Code or NEC Forum is intended for discussions related to the NEC and associated topics. It is not a platform for posting or soliciting answers to test questions. The purpose of the forum is to facilitate constructive conversations about the code itself, its interpretation, and its practical application in the field. Test questions detract from this core objective. They shift the focus from in-depth code analysis and knowledge sharing to simply providing or seeking correct answers, often without the necessary context or explanation. This can be detrimental to the learning process and can ultimately undermine the value of the forum as a resource for electrical professionals. Consider the following reasons why test questions are discouraged in the NEC forum. Firstly, test questions often lack sufficient context. A test question presented in isolation may not adequately convey the specific circumstances or assumptions under which it was formulated. This can lead to ambiguity and confusion, making it difficult for forum participants to provide accurate and relevant answers. The NEC is a complex and nuanced document, and its application often depends on the specific details of a given situation. Without sufficient context, answers to test questions may be misleading or even incorrect. Secondly, test questions can undermine the learning process. The goal of studying the NEC is not simply to memorize answers to specific questions, but to develop a thorough understanding of the code's principles and requirements. By focusing on test questions, individuals may be tempted to prioritize rote memorization over genuine comprehension. This can result in a superficial understanding of the code, which may not be sufficient to address the complex challenges encountered in real-world electrical installations. Thirdly, test questions can create an unfair advantage. Some individuals may have access to test banks or other resources that provide them with an unfair advantage in answering test questions. This can undermine the integrity of the forum and create a sense of resentment among participants. The forum should be a level playing field where everyone has an equal opportunity to learn and contribute. Fourthly, test questions can dilute the quality of the forum's content. The NEC forum is intended to be a valuable resource for electrical professionals seeking information and guidance on the code. When test questions are posted, they can clutter the forum and make it more difficult to find relevant and informative content. This can detract from the overall value of the forum and make it less useful for its intended audience. Fifthly, test questions often solicit simple answers without encouraging deeper discussion. The purpose of the NEC forum is to foster meaningful conversations about the code and its application. Test questions, on the other hand, often seek simple answers that do not require any in-depth analysis or critical thinking. This can stifle discussion and prevent forum participants from engaging in a more meaningful exchange of ideas. Instead of posting test questions, individuals are encouraged to ask questions about the NEC code itself. These questions should be specific and well-defined, and they should demonstrate a genuine effort to understand the code's requirements. When asking questions, it is important to provide sufficient context, including the specific section of the NEC that is being referenced, the type of electrical installation being considered, and any relevant assumptions or constraints. It is also helpful to explain what research has already been done and what specific aspects of the code are causing confusion. By framing questions in this way, individuals can elicit more helpful and informative responses from forum participants. In addition to asking questions, individuals are also encouraged to participate in discussions about the NEC code. This can involve sharing their own experiences, offering insights and interpretations, and providing feedback on the responses of others. By actively engaging in discussions, individuals can deepen their understanding of the code and contribute to the collective knowledge of the forum. When participating in discussions, it is important to be respectful of others and to avoid making personal attacks or engaging in inflammatory rhetoric. The goal of the forum is to promote constructive dialogue and to create a welcoming environment for all participants. The NEC is a living document that is constantly evolving to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. It is essential for electrical professionals to stay up to date on the latest revisions of the code and to understand how these changes impact their work. The NEC forum can be a valuable resource for staying informed about code updates and for discussing the implications of these changes with other professionals. In summary, the NEC forum is intended for discussions related to the NEC code and associated topics, not for posting or soliciting answers to test questions. Test questions detract from the core objective of the forum, which is to facilitate constructive conversations about the code itself, its interpretation, and its practical application in the field. Individuals are encouraged to ask questions about the NEC code itself, to participate in discussions, and to stay up to date on the latest revisions of the code. The electrical code is a critical set of standards designed to ensure safety in electrical installations. Understanding and adhering to the code is paramount for all electrical professionals. The code covers a wide range of topics, including wiring methods, overcurrent protection, grounding, and equipment installation. It is important to consult the code regularly and to stay up to date on any changes or revisions. Proper interpretation of the NEC requires a thorough understanding of its structure and organization. The code is divided into chapters, articles, and sections, each addressing a specific aspect of electrical installations. It is important to be able to navigate the code effectively and to locate the relevant sections for a given application. Overcurrent protection is a critical aspect of electrical safety. The code specifies the types and sizes of overcurrent devices, such as fuses and circuit breakers, that are required to protect electrical circuits from overloads and short circuits. Proper selection and installation of overcurrent devices is essential to prevent fires and electrical hazards. Grounding is another important aspect of electrical safety. The code requires that electrical systems be properly grounded to provide a path for fault current to return to the source. This helps to prevent electrical shock and to minimize the risk of damage to equipment. Wiring methods are also covered extensively in the code. The code specifies the types of wiring that are permitted for different applications, as well as the methods for installing and supporting the wiring. Proper wiring methods are essential to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical installations. Equipment installation is another key area covered by the code. The code specifies the requirements for installing various types of electrical equipment, such as lighting fixtures, receptacles, and appliances. Proper equipment installation is essential to ensure that the equipment operates safely and efficiently. The NEC is not a substitute for sound engineering judgment. It is important to consider all relevant factors when designing and installing electrical systems, and to exercise good judgment in applying the code's requirements. In addition to the NEC, there may be other applicable codes and standards that must be followed. These may include local building codes, fire codes, and industry standards. It is important to be aware of all applicable requirements and to comply with them fully. The electrical industry is constantly evolving, with new technologies and techniques emerging all the time. It is important to stay up to date on these developments and to adapt to the changing landscape of the industry. Continuing education is essential for electrical professionals to maintain their skills and knowledge. There are many opportunities for continuing education, including courses, seminars, and conferences. By participating in these activities, electrical professionals can stay up to date on the latest developments in the field and enhance their ability to provide safe and reliable electrical services. Safety is always the top priority in electrical work. Electrical professionals must be aware of the hazards associated with electricity and take appropriate precautions to protect themselves and others. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses, and following safe work practices. The NEC provides a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. By understanding and adhering to the code, electrical professionals can help to ensure the safety and reliability of electrical systems. The NEC is a valuable resource for electrical professionals, and it is important to consult it regularly. The NEC is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date on the latest revisions. The NEC is available for purchase from various sources, including the National Fire Protection Association. The NEC is also available online through various subscription services. The NEC is a complex document, but it is essential for electrical professionals to understand it. By taking the time to study the code, electrical professionals can improve their skills and knowledge and provide safer and more reliable electrical services. The NEC is a living document, and it is constantly evolving to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. It is important to stay up to date on these developments and to adapt to the changing landscape of the electrical industry. The NEC is a valuable resource for electrical professionals, and it is important to consult it regularly. The NEC is a key component of electrical safety. Adherence to the code helps to prevent electrical fires, shocks, and other hazards. The NEC is enforced by local authorities, such as building inspectors and electrical inspectors. These authorities have the power to inspect electrical installations and to issue fines or other penalties for violations of the code. It is important to comply with the NEC to avoid these penalties and to ensure the safety of electrical installations. The NEC is a complex document, but it is essential for electrical professionals to understand it. By taking the time to study the code, electrical professionals can improve their skills and knowledge and provide safer and more reliable electrical services. The NEC is a living document, and it is constantly evolving to reflect changes in technology and industry practices. It is important to stay up to date on these developments and to adapt to the changing landscape of the electrical industry. Electrical installations must be done according to the prevailing electrical codes. These codes, like the NEC, specify minimum safety standards to protect people and property from electrical hazards. These standards evolve, so staying current is key. Electrical safety isn't just about compliance, it's about a mindset. Always prioritize safety, even when under pressure, to complete a job quickly. Shortcuts can have serious consequences. Working with electricity always carries risks. It is crucial to be aware of these risks and to take appropriate precautions to mitigate them. This includes wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, using properly insulated tools, and following safe work practices. Before starting any electrical work, it is important to identify all potential hazards. This includes identifying energized circuits, exposed wiring, and other potential sources of electrical shock or arc flash. Once hazards have been identified, steps can be taken to mitigate them. This may include energizing circuits, using lockout-tagout procedures, and wearing appropriate personal protective equipment. Electrical safety isn't just the responsibility of electricians. Everyone who works with or around electricity has a role to play in ensuring safety. This includes homeowners, contractors, and other tradespeople. Everyone should be aware of the potential hazards of electricity and take appropriate precautions to protect themselves and others. Electrical safety is a continuous process, not a one-time event. It is important to review safety procedures regularly and to update them as needed. This will help to ensure that electrical work is always performed safely and in accordance with the latest codes and standards. There are many resources available to help people learn about electrical safety. These resources include books, websites, training courses, and safety videos. By taking advantage of these resources, people can improve their knowledge of electrical safety and reduce their risk of electrical accidents. Electrical safety is a serious issue, but it is also a preventable one. By following safe work practices, wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, and staying up to date on the latest codes and standards, people can significantly reduce their risk of electrical accidents. The NEC has sections dedicated to ensuring equipment is installed in a safe and workmanlike manner. Firstly, it is important to ensure there is adequate workspace around electrical equipment. This allows electricians to safely work on the equipment without being obstructed. Secondly, electrical equipment must be properly supported. This prevents the equipment from falling or being damaged. Thirdly, all electrical connections must be tight and secure. Loose connections can cause overheating and electrical fires. Fourthly, wiring must be properly protected from physical damage. This can be achieved by using conduit, raceways, or other protective measures. Fifthly, electrical equipment must be properly grounded. Grounding provides a path for fault current to return to the source, helping to prevent electrical shock. Sixthly, all electrical equipment must be labeled properly. Labeling helps to identify the equipment and its purpose. Seventhly, electrical equipment must be accessible for maintenance and repairs. This allows electricians to easily access the equipment when needed. The National Electrical Code is not static, it is updated regularly to reflect changes in technology and best practices. Staying current with these updates is a professional responsibility. The NEC serves as a foundational element for electrical safety and proper installation techniques. The information found within helps to protect people and property.